Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr. H's Hot Pot. You join me today, still in Florida, with Mrs. H and little Toby James. However, they've gone off to one of the water parks. They've gone to Volcano Bay, and a hot, sweaty water park is not Mr. H's idea of fun. So I've let them go in the old jalopy, and I thought instead I'd come for a bit of a bimble down International Drive and take a look at a different volcano, Volcano Island Miniature Golf. Now today it is no more, it's closed and abandoned. So I'm going to take a little look of what it looks like today. It's been closed since 2015. Mrs. H and myself, we visited in 2008 when I first came to the US, and there used to be a lot of these little miniature golf places up and down International Drive. The Americans call them putt-putt places, we call them crazy golf over in the UK. So I will be referring to this as a crazy golf, as I am from the UK. Now I'll just make my way across this and hopefully I won't get splattered, as that's something else you've got to do when you're here in the US. It's very easy to keep looking the way you would in the UK. You've got to get yourself hardwired so that you're not looking the wrong way and end up getting hurt. Now this little miniature golf place, this little putt-putt place, this little crazy golf place is right at the side of this Dunkin' Donuts. It's set back, and in a minute you'll see why it was such a tourist trap, as these places offer such a lot but they give so little. So I'm now going to make my way in and we'll take a look at this place. Now I won't be able to actually go onto the properties, it's all fenced off. I came for a recce the other day and there's no trespassing signs everywhere, and trespassing is a big no-no here in the US. So we'll just be walking the perimeter and we'll see what we can see from the legal side of the fence, so to speak. So here we go, Hot Potters, Volcano Golf straight ahead. Keep right. Now if you was to come here today, you'd be very disappointed, because Volcano Island Golf has been closed since 2015, and that just blows my mind, because back home in the UK people will be all over this. The trespassing laws are very different in the UK. As long as you haven't done any damage or broken anything in order to get in, all they can tell you to do is leave. But here, I think trespassing laws are very different, and simply putting a no trespassing sign does keep people away. Now if anybody out there understands American trespassing laws, especially here in Florida, please leave a comment below, because my understanding is that you get what they call trespassed, which is kicked off, and if they catch you on there again, that's it. You know, you can be arrested, and there's all different tiers of crimes over here, isn't there? There's felon and all that business, so I've no idea. I definitely won't be trying to get in, I'll just take a look from the perimeter. But yeah, me and Mrs. H, we got suckered into coming here, and these places were dotted all the way up and down International Drive. And the tourist traps, now the reason I said that they're a tourist trap is simply, you get to the 8th hole and you get bored, don't you? Well, this is the car park to Volcano Island Miniature Golf. No idea if these rules still apply. Tow away zone, Volcano Island Reserve parking, I doubt it is. They've just been left here, haven't they? And here it is. Back in the day, you would make your way over this little bridge, It had a tiki theme, And obviously 2008, Jurassic Park and all that kind of good stuff was there, so that's the theme they've gone for. And then there'd be like a river that ran all the way along, all the way around it. You'll make your way in there, pick up your golf clubs and your ball, and away you go. Not sure if I should be in this little part here, so I'm going to make an hasty retreat. But it's well overgrown now, and when I came round here doing a bit of a recce the other day, it was full of feral cats. You had a volcano though, that was the centrepiece. I don't really recall if that erupted or whether it was just lights inside that. Once again, you had the dinosaur theme. There's the no trespassing sign, warning me to keep out. And like I say, the trespassing laws here must be pretty good, because nobody uses chain link fencing now to keep people out in the UK. So the fact that they use this type of fencing proves as the laws must be pretty harsh if you get caught. You have that there. I think this was an 18-hole course. We're just going to walk around the perimeter, which is all dry today. As you can see, there's no water in here anymore. And just take a look at this, and like I say, it blows my mind that this is still here. Over in the UK, all that would have been vandalised. No doubt a fire would have broke out at some point. So for respect to the fact that people will keep out. There are the lights, theme lights. Again, those would have been looted in the UK. So the fact that this has stayed in this state since 2015 is amazing. Now my guess is that whoever owns this piece of land, they're never going to reopen this, because there's too many things now to entertain you in the theme parks. So nobody needs these little add-ons or bolt-ons. There's the 6th hole. Wonder how many golf balls ended up in here, in this river part. But yeah, my guess is that they're hoping, whoever owns this little piece of land, that somebody with a lot of money will come in and build a super hotel like that Hampton Inn there in the background, and then they can name their own price for this little piece of land. That's my guess. Yeah, Mrs H, or Miss W as she was back then, and myself came in and had a round of golf in here. And I did get bored by the 8th hole, if I'm being honest. And just look at those lamps there. They're amazing, them. Wouldn't mind one of them. But I'm not going to risk it. There's far too many no trespassing signs. And you can find lots of these abandoned little attractions up and down International Drive, and the Americans don't seem to go in and demolish it. They just leave it, and then when somebody does buy the land, it'll be their responsibility to get rid of what's on it. Now if I was going to do a bit of urban exploration, that'd maybe point in, if I'm being honest. That, or where that bridge was, where we was just stood. Now this is where we could see those feral cats the last time I was here. And by God, they were feral. As soon as I went near the fence, it flew at me. Once again, no trespassing. Private property, violators will be prosecuted. You're not in the UK now, where they just politely tell you to go away. Just look at that. I'd love to get in there and have a little nosy. The only other problem here is wildlife. Now, I don't think there'll be any gators in there. I don't think there's ever been any alligators in this particular golf course. But you don't know what's lurking in there, snakes and stuff. This is the 14th hole. You just make out where you'd actually put into. And that big tuft of grass there that you can just see in the centre of your screen, that's where one of the holes was, so it's filled with debris. And all that would have been, there'd been waterfalls and all kinds in there. But yeah, we got suckered in good with this. And it was actually raining, it was Hurricane Fair when we was here. And for some reason, this particular hole hasn't been put behind a fence. So we can actually stand on this one. No doubt you'd come across that bridge there, over the water, and then you'd play this hole, whatever number it'd be. But if you have memories of playing this particular golf course, why not leave a comment below? 15th hole back there. And all the big statues are made of fiberglass, I should imagine, of dinosaurs. They're still in there. Once again, the parallel between the UK and the US is quite stark, as back home they'd all be removed. There'd be signs on everything, anything of value has been removed. And there's the final hole. I was glad by the time I got to that point, Hot Potters, I must admit. But these places really are tourist traps. Promise a lot and give very little. I doubt this will ever see footfall again. Then you make your way back over there, through those doors there, and your club back in, and that'd be it. Off you go, back to your old jalopy, and continue with the rest of your day. Here's the old maintenance shed, and probably that's where all the pumps were housed to pump all the water around the golf course. Amazing, brings back memories. Like I said, I don't recall there being alligators in there. Some of them do, some of the golf courses, and the idea is that you can take a look at those as you're making your way around. Not sure if that shed's part of this little complex. I don't think it is. It's probably a bin shed or a tool shed. And there's all the meters and electrical gubbins. And then you have this, the post box to this place, which is sealed up. And it doesn't get much more Americana than this, does it? Now, I know my friend in the UK, Mike, he'd love one of those. But mate, I can't see it lasting very long in Worsley Mains, to be honest. Which, for those of you who don't know Wigan, is a little suburb of my hometown of Wigan. Anyway, there we go. That was a little walk around the old Volcano Island Miniature Golf. And personally speaking, I don't think this will reopen as a golf course again. Gone are the days when people would stand here, look at this little plaque here and mull over whether it was worth doing or not. So I'm now going to whip the camera around and wrap this one up, I think. Right, Hot Potters, I'm going to get out of here now before I get my collar felt. As I've been making my way around, I've found some old containers for prescription drugs over here, so this is obviously a very sketchy area, especially at night. So I'm now going to make my way back onto International Drive, get to the safety of Dunkin' Donuts and onto International Drive. Back to my hotel, which is only next door. It's that hotel there in the background. And then I can edit up all this footage, ready for your edification as always. Hope you've enjoyed today's little video, taking a look at that old golf course. It's brought back a few memories for Mr. H, and it'll probably bring back a few memories for Mrs. H / Miss W. So, until the next time, from myself, Mr. H, it is bye-bye for now.